Hello, my name is Jim Hollinger with RiseUpTV.com. I've got a special guest with us today. Her name is Thelma. Thelma, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, we're just going to go through this presentation, and I just want you to answer all the questions that you can as directly and as well as you can, all right? If you have a question,
Okay.
feel free to stop and ask me.
Okay.
All right, so let's start out by watching this short video. What would you do if you were given $100,000 and told that you could do anything with it? You can give it to other people or you can use it for yourself. That's exactly what crowdfunding is. How would you like to eliminate all of your debt, including your mortgage, in 5 to 10 years? Or join a group of others who want to be debt-free in 1 to 3 years? Do you have student loans you'd like to get rid of? Or maybe you'd like to start a college fund for your child or for your grandchildren? When one college student told another who told another who told another, they all began to raise money to pay off their student loans. That was the fastest growing segment in crowdfunding last year. By adding community funding to crowdfunding, we have accelerated the way fundraising is done. Do you have a community sports team that you'd like to raise money for? For example, when somebody makes a donation to the sports team, the team can give the person back a project to help them fund whatever need they may have. It's giving back to the community that's supporting you. It's all about people helping people, and everyone wins when we give back to the community. A church could be raising funds for a special project, and when somebody donates to that project, the church can give them back something that every member in the church may need or want. And if they just want to make a donation, that's great. But if they have a project, you've given back to the members. Maybe you'd like to support a community outreach program or take a short-term missions trip, provide for youth ministry and outreach. Do you have an existing business or a new idea that needs to be funded? It's hard to raise money for a startup business because of the risk that banks are taking. But with crowdfunding, it's not a grant, it's not a loan. You can just go ahead and raise your money and start your business. There are people struggling to pay unexpected medical bills. You can fund your retirement plan. Before you build a house, you put together a plan. The same thing is true when you're getting ready to start a crowdfunding project. You need to know what you want to raise the money for, how much you're going to need. You need a plan whether it's taking care of animals or taking care of people. Parents of special needs children have financial needs that most of us aren't even aware of. Jeff, a friend of mine, is raising funds for a specially equipped van for his son so that he's able to drive. Do you need to raise funds for drama, theater, music, filmmaking, or any other performing art? We can help. Whether your project is based in your local community or part of the worldwide community, we can help. Maybe you've got an idea that you've been thinking about, but you haven't done anything with it. This is the perfect time to get started with your crowdfunding project. Why? Because we have coaches and trainers available to give you the help and the support that you need. And Thelma, I am a crowdfunding coach, so we can help you. And if you'll go down the page, you'll see there's a questionnaire there. And I'd like to ask you a very simple question. What would you do with $100,000?
I would pay off some debt and then start saving some money to buy a house.
All right, that's a good project. And I'm going to tell you how you're going to be able to do that. And when you use this page to invite somebody, you want to be sure that you put your name in there as the inviter. So before they put in their name and their email, just say, hey, go ahead and put my name in there as your inviter. So when you use this form, Thelma, just have them put your name right there where it says inviter, okay?
Okay.
And then you want to ask them the same question that I asked you, because we want to know what their why is, what their goal is, what their dream is. All right, we're going to go down to the next video here, and we're going to go ahead and watch this video. Welcome to RiseUpTV.com. My name is Jim Hollinger, and I'll be your host today. And we're going to be talking about problems that people have. In 1885, New York City had a big problem. If you asked anybody back then what they would do with the $100,000, they would tell you, put together the Statue of Liberty. She was laying in crates in a warehouse, and they didn't have enough money to put it together, to make the pedestal. They needed $100,000, and they did not know where it was going to come from. But Joseph Pulitzer, owner of the New York World Press, put an ad in the paper to raise $100,000. It came in from 160,000 donors. People gave pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. If you understand what you're looking at here, that's less than $1 a piece. But that's because there wasn't a lot of money back then. And kind of sounds a little bit like today, doesn't it? They raised the money because they had hope and a desire and a goal. 97 years later, President Reagan wanted to initiate a private foundation, so he asked Lee Iacocca if he would help him raise $700 million to refurbish the Statue of Liberty for the centennial. The money came in, and it's still coming. Another example of crowdfunding was President Obama used that to raise $500 million for his 2008 campaign to become president. In 2012, he passed a law saying that money could be raised up for businesses through crowdfunding, that it was a solution to businesses getting money because the banks were tight, and if it worked for him, it worked for us. I've got a very important question for you. What would you do with $100,000? Could you use $100,000? I'm going to ask you to write that down in just a minute, all right? But first, I want to share with you a way to get the $100,000. And it's not the way you think. It's by helping other people that need to raise money for anything. If you know two people that need money, maybe somebody wants to start a business or expand a business they have. They've got school debt they'd like to pay off. Maybe they've got medical bills or they need dental work done and they just don't have the money. We're going to show them how they can get that by helping other people. The one I hear the most is down here in the bottom corner, getting out of debt. People have been borrowing money, living on their credit cards because they just don't have enough money for the needs that are in front of them today. There are people who need to save money for a down payment for a home. Maybe you'd like to get involved in the theater, drama, or arts, filmmaking, and you need money to do that. Your school project, your community project, your sports team needs money. We're going to show you how you can fund those and how you can give back to the community. Maybe you've got a charity organization or a church or a mission project that you'd like to fund. We're going to show you how, by sharing this with other people, you can have what you want. You see, we're looking for 10,000 people that would like to receive $100,000 this year. If that's you, you want to pay close attention to what we're going to be talking about next. What would you do with $100,000? Well, first of all, you have to receive it. There's a lot of ways that you can raise funds today, but you need to know what the different methods are. There's fundraising, there's crowdfunding, there's community funding, and there's cooperative pool sharing. And you need to know what the differences are. You also need to know that most people that start a project, they don't succeed. We're going to share with you the whys and what the differences are in all these different projects. This is probably the most famous guy there is when it comes to raising funds. His name is James Robertson. He walked to work every day for 22 miles, took the bus, and he did that for 13 years. Down here, Evan heard his story, and he went to him and he said, James, he said, I'd like to help you raise money to get a car. And he put together a crowdfunding project. He got some friends together, found out how to do it, and he sought to raise $25,000, took photos, got a hold of the press, and raised $349,000 in 1 month from 13,000 different people making donations. So people's dreams are being reached, and it can be done, and crowdfunding is a great way to do that. But there's some things that you need to know when it comes to raising funds through crowdfunding. Number one, if you use a GoFundMe project, there is no charge to create your project. A great way to get started with no money. But there is a charge per donation, 5% fee, 2.9% processing, and 30 cents per transaction. So the cost here would have been $39,000, or was $39,000 because of the fees. There is a better way that I want to share with you and how that works. Last year, paying off student loans grew by 4,017%. The students were in school, it was the end of the year, and they had started to hear about crowdfunding, and it was spreading by word of mouth, the most powerful advertising way that you can do this. And Alexa said to her friends, how do you do that? What do I need to do? And they said, we'll help you do it. They helped her put together her project, and she was amazed and overwhelmed when she received over $5,000 in the first 27 hours. That's all she needed to pay off her student loan. But she's going to have other needs. And the reason for that is when she graduates, she's going to need to relocate. She's probably going to have to get furniture, housing, travel, survive until she finds a job. And so during the year, you can change and update your project with us as you need for no additional cost. Another type of crowdfunding project that I want to talk to you about is reward-based. This here's an example of a manufacturer who wants to make these watches and sell them, and he needs to raise $250,000 to be able to do that. But if he doesn't reach that goal, then he won't receive any of the money that was raised. When it comes to charges, that can be up to 10% of donations received. Some companies charge 15, but we're going to use 10% for simple math. And let's take a look here at what we're going to do. The goal is to raise $250,000. They raised 1.3 million, way to go, from 4,390 people. And they still have 10 more days to go. But let's just look at those numbers right now as they stand. That means 1.3 million times 10%, $139,000. That will be the fees that will be charged for this. That's great. They did receive that much money, but how would you like to save money? The reason I say that is because with our company, your setup fee is $250 and it's good for 1 year, and all donations that come into you have no fees. A lady called me and she wanted to fund a vacation. She wanted to take her husband and 3 kids to Disney World. They were going to be gone about a week and a half, and she wanted to know if she could crowdfund that. And I said, yeah. I said, so let me see if I got this right, though. You're going to ask your family and friends to donate money so you can go on vacation. Is that right? And she goes, yeah. I said, so you feel funny about it, right? She says, yeah, I do. And I said, well, there's a better way. Instead of asking them to donate money for you to go on vacation, why don't you do it a different way? Why don't you turn around and use cooperative funding and have them raise the funds that they need for their project? She said, what do you mean? I said, do you think your friends have any goals that they'd like to achieve? Maybe they've got some medical bills that they need to pay off. Maybe they want to pay off their mortgage. Maybe they'd like to start a business. What you do is you find out what they need and help them reach their goals. And so that together you guys can all raise the funds. Last year I went to a home show, and I was talking to people at the home show, and I said, look, how many people here want to improve their home? All you have to do is help each other do that, and you can have these projects and go into our cooperative sharing, and that will help raise the money for everybody. So if you share this information with other people that have a need or a dream, they become a part of your profit pool sharing. How does it work? Let's explore how this works and how you can achieve your goals and your dreams. When it comes to cooperative sharing, there are 2 things that are important: the ways that we receive our money. The first one is direct donations. We already talked about this. All donations go to you. Somebody comes up to you and they say, hey, here's $300 to help you get your project started. You thank them, you put the money in your bank and use it for that project. The next thing, if somebody sends you a card and there's a check in the card, take the check, put it in the bank, it's yours. When you receive any money through the donation website, that all goes to you, right into your account. So there are no fees for that. The second thing that we do is our pool sharing. Pool sharing is a little bit different, needs to be explained, but basically what we're doing is we're working together to help each other with their projects so that we can all fund ourselves and our projects. You enroll in the Rize platform for $250. How do you do that? First of all, you look for 2 people. That's what you're looking for, just 2 people that have a need, have a desire, have something they'd like to accomplish. Let's use this one here. This is Rick. He's getting married, and you go to Rick and you say, hey, Rick, how would you like to take your wife overseas for your honeymoon? He said, oh, that'd be great, but we can't afford that. If I could show you how to do it with $250, would you be interested? He goes, yeah, sure. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to start a crowdfunding project, and you're going to raise money and help other people raise money for what they're looking for. So when you do that and they get a platform for $250, you're going to receive $120 commission on that sale. The second thing they're going to do is they're going to take another $120 of that, and they're going to put that into your pool sharing. They're going to put that to work so it'll grow. That means that the company made $10, and that's the setup fee for getting this project going. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to look for somebody else. You know, somebody that's graduating, you talk to them, say, hey, how would you like to pay off your student bill? And they go, yeah, okay, I'm in. So they go in, they join. You're going to receive $120 for that and $120 in your pool sharing. Now, when you've got 2 people who've come into this and started a project, something exciting happens. You have just qualified for pool sharing. Those two people count as one pool share, and you qualify for 10 different pools of sharing. The power of duplication. It's just like a family getting married. Okay, they get married, and I remember my father-in-law, and we went up for their 50th wedding anniversary, and the family was so big. They had 5 kids, and there were so many kids and grandkids and great grandkids, and it was a great time. But the photographer couldn't take the picture because there were so many people there. He tried 3 different times before he's finally able to do it, because the family had grown. And I remember Dad looking around, and he said, you know, he looked at his wife, and he looked at all those people and all the kids there and the greats and everything. And he said, you and I did this, just the 2 of us. And this is the power of duplication. You've heard the story about a penny being doubled every day and how that turns into a lot of success. Well, that's what we're doing. We're looking for people that have projects, that have needs, that would like to be funded. And you're looking for 2 people to get 2 people, that's 4. You're looking for those 4 people to get 2, and that's 8. And that's the power of duplication. And this is what's going to help you reach your goals and your dreams by helping other people get what they're looking for. I'm going to have a disclaimer here. And the reason for that is because I'm going to cover some examples of how the money works. And in a perfect world, this is how it would work. But we know that the world's not perfect. Some people are going to do better. Some people are not. And it's unlikely that it's going to work exactly the way that I'm showing you. But this is how it works. The first thing that I want to know from anybody is, what would you do with $100,000? I want to know their why. I want to know what it is that they want to accomplish, because if they've got a goal of $1 million, that's going to be important to me to know how to approach that with them. If they say I need $3,000 to publish a book, that's important. But once I know their why, I'll know how to help them, and I'll know what they are going to want to do. So we're going to talk about the compensation plan and how we get paid. I remember my first paycheck when I went to work, and I didn't know how much I was going to get paid till the first day. And they sat down and they told me all that stuff. And I sat down and I figured that out at lunch hour. And I thought, okay, I'm getting this much an hour, 40 hours. I'll have this much money on payday. When payday come, man, was I surprised. The check wasn't even close. And you know why? Because of the taxes, the state tax, the county tax, the city tax, and FICA, uniform rental. All of those things affected my check. And I don't want anybody here disappointed. I'm going to tell you exactly how we're compensated, exactly what we need to do to make this money, and how it works. The first thing you need to know is you need to share this with 2 people. And I keep saying that because it's important that you understand it. You want to share this with 2 people. If you don't know 2 people, then you might want to think that this is something you really want to do. But I don't believe you, because I know everybody knows 2 people. If you died, I know there'd be more than that come to your funeral. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to share this with 2 people. When you do that, you're going to receive $240 in your wallet and $240 that are going to go into pool sharing. The company's taking that money and they're saying, we're going to give this back to you, but we're going to put it into pool sharing because we want it to grow so you can get more later. Not that much later. It could be a week even. But let's take a look at it. The second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to share this with 2 other people that do exactly the same thing. Now, here's where it already doesn't start to work, because there are some people who are going to invite more. My first week, I invited 3 people. My first fella invited 6 his first week. And then I have 2 people, and they haven't invited anybody yet. Some people need to know everything before they do anything. So that's what your goal is, to help those 2 people achieve their goals. Then you're qualified for pool sharing. When you come to pool sharing on floor 3, there's $960 that is going to be in that pool. You're going to receive $240 checks each time somebody follows you into that qualifying group. So that means you're going to get $240 for the first, the second, the third, and the fourth person, up to $960. On the 4th floor, there's 12 people in that pool. There's $5,760 there. You're going to receive $480 checks up to 12 times as people come and they join into that area. And this is the part that's pretty exciting about this, because as we look at the next floor, there's 28 people in this pool. There's $26,000 there, and each check is going to be for $960, and it's as earned. The reason that I like that is because if I had to wait for that money to build up in the pool first, it'd take too long. But when I get it as earned, I get that first check, $960. I'm going, yeah, okay. And they didn't take any taxes out of it. On the 6th floor, there are 60 people there. There's $115,000 on that floor. Each check is going to be $1,920. Now, we started out looking for $100,000. We've just hit it. And so I want to stop right here. And the reason for that is because it's realistic. It can be done. You can do it. And we can all achieve these things together. If you have bigger goals, bigger dreams, I'm going to share this next floors with you, but I'm not going to do the math because I just want you to realize it's here. Checks of $7,680, $3,840 checks. You can receive all these checks from these floors at different times, because if you've got somebody who goes crazy and they build a great team fast, you're going to get those checks quicker. And then when the other people get started, you're going to get those checks as they advance through the rank. So I thank you very much for taking a look at this, and that's how it works. So help the 2 people that you brought in, and you will succeed. Rise Up makes its money in 2 different ways. First of all, there's no fees for all donations received through your activities and the donate button. Second, $10 of the $250 goes to the company. Okay. Then whenever money that you make from pool sharing, they do deduct 20% up to $50 for a fee. That means if you have a check anywhere from $250 to $10,000 or more, the fee will be just $50. So folks, the company wants us to make money. They want us to achieve our goals, and they make their money the same way we do, except for operating costs. Do you know anyone, maybe yourself or a friend, who needs to raise money for any type of dream project? We can help. Get back with the person that invited you, that shared this with you, and say, hey, how do I get started? Where can I go from here? It's your turn to become a part of our team. We welcome you. Join, get started, put up your project page, tell us about it, and we will begin to promote and advertise your project, just like you'll see the ones down below here. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to ask our guests to introduce themselves and to tell us about their projects.
Well, Thelma, I'm glad to tell you that I've got a project here, and my project is to help other people get out of debt. And I'd like to introduce a project here.
Hector lost his job, and the family became a one-income family. They had to move out of their $850 apartment and moved into his parents' basements. He had heard about community funding and wondered how in the world it could work for him. So he got a hold of us and he said, show me how this works. We explained it to him and said, what you do is you find other people that have a need just like you do. You share this with them, no matter what their need is, and together you guys can raise funds by helping each other. And we'll help you also. And so he did that. And in 90 days, he was able to put together $27,000 on this new 4-bedroom home and close on it. Kirby loves to fly. He wanted to create an aviation school in the Philippines. Every year they have 8 to 9 typhoons that come and make landfall each year. He wanted to also help people who lost their homes. So his first goal was to raise $100,000 so he could get his plane and start his school. The next thing he wanted to do was donate to the people who had a need. In 62 days, he received $103,000 in donations.
You know, it's exciting when people reach those goals. And you had mentioned, Thelma, about getting out of debt. And I have a gift for you. Anybody that refers 2 people, whether they join us or not, if they refer somebody to us that does join, I'll give them our debt elimination video software. And if you take a look at this, you'll see that here's a 54-year-old, 24 years before his mortgage is paid off. He's going to pay $245,000 in interest, with a total of $133,000 being interest. What we did is, after our analysis, he'll be debt-free in 10 years at age 65 and only going to pay $112,000 in interest. So he's going to save that $133,000 in interest there. So that's a lot of savings there. And all you have to do is click on this here, and it'll take you to the page that's going to talk about that. I have been teaching these classes for 14 years. And what I'm doing is I'm actually giving these away when people invite 2 people, whether they join or not. If they refer 2 people to us who do join, I will give them this software. And here's the way I recommend that you do this. First of all, you send out a text message, an email, or a phone script. And you ask the person, look, can you watch a 3-minute video with me? And then what you do is you have them watch the first video and you ask them what they think. If they're interested in knowing more, you have them go ahead just like you did and you enter in what their project is, what they would do with the money, and invite them to come and look at this. Now, here's the thing about this. Whether you join or not, you can still make money. And the reason I say that is because I have a lot of people who say, I don't have the money, but I really would like to do this. So I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can actually do that and how you can turn that into an income, whether it's full-time or part-time is up to you. So I'm just going to go back here now, and we're going to go back to this page, and here's how it works. This is my personal offer to you. This is something that I'm doing, okay? You can join. The best way to get involved with us is to join for $250, create your own project, and just start telling people about it. Refer 1 to 3 people to me who join, and I will use my commissions toward your enrollment. The other one is, if you want to earn extra cash without joining, I will pay you $50 for each referral who does join me. And so it's a win-win situation. You can't lose. The worst thing that can happen is you make $50. And so I invite you to do that. Now, how do you join? You come over here, you click on this page right here, and it's going to take you to a membership page. And we're going to turn this here off, okay? And we just played that. And you just sign up down here, but you want to make sure you're on the page of the person that invited you. So you ask them what their enrollment page is, and they will send that to you or take you to it. And you just sign up here, and when you do, you just fill out your name, username, create a password, an email account, a phone number, and then press sign up. And that's all there is to it. Then after you've done that, you come back in and you will sign into your website so that you can get into the back office and create your project so that you can start to share that with the world. We will help you with that. We'll share with you some tips and ideas for how to do that and how to be effective with that. This is my office. I am the regional training director for the Midwest, and I teach virtual marketing online. I am a trainer and a coach. And when you decide that you want to do this, if you want a page like this with your name on it and not mine, then we can create that also. And I had somebody ask me, why are you letting people come in without spending any money first? Because I've been there. I know what it's like to need money and not have it. And it doesn't matter whether you need $3,000 to publish a book or $500,000 to pay off your mortgage or $4 million for a building project. We can help. All of these are different projects that we help people with. We've got these flyers, the pamphlets for it, and just share it with other people. And if you want to know why I'm doing that, come down here to the bottom of the page and just watch this video, and you will have the answer to why I'm doing this. So I'm glad to have you here, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions, and I'm going to see there. Thelma, are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm very excited. Now, I do have a question about the pool sharing.
Okay.
How do they pay you? Is it like it builds up to a certain amount, then you get paid? How does that actually work?
You know, that's a great question, and I'm glad you asked it. What happens is the money goes into a pool, and then when you qualify for it, okay, like the 4th pool, like I showed you in the chart there, when you qualify for it, what happens is you will receive that as people come onto that floor. So it's not that you have to do anything. It's you help build a team. Remember when I told you you only need to bring in 2 people?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all you need to qualify for all of this. But then you need to help those 2 people. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up here. I'm just going to show this whole thing here. Turn the sound down, freeze it. So when you reach this level here, instead of waiting until there's $5,760 in the pool, you're going to get it as each one of these 12 people follow you into this pool. So the most you're going to receive is $5,760, but you're going to get each check as people enter the pool. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And because there's going to be people who are going to do this faster, there's going to be people way up here already, and there's going to be people still down here. Because some people, it takes them the week to get started. I've had people take a month to get started. The thing about it is the project is good for a year, so it doesn't matter. But what I want to do is I want to help the people who want to get going. And here's the part about this that I didn't tell you about, is if you sign somebody up down here and the first 2 people that enrolled and they don't get going right away, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and invite somebody and put them in that position anyway. That'll help qualify them for pool sharing, but I'm going to receive an extra $120 for doing that. So it's a win-win situation. They qualify for pool sharing, and I receive extra money for helping that person out.
Right.
And that's really a cool project. So all that's left for you to do is go ahead and go down to the join page, click on that, and get started. And you'll have a page just like this yourself when you get going. There is a lot to do, but you know, when you only have to invite 2 people, you don't need to know how to do this, because we're available here as your training team to do that part for you. We'll do the explaining and show people how it works. And if you want to invite 2 people, great. If you want to invite 20 people, that's great. And my goal is to help 100,000 people get out of debt. And so, and that debt class is going to really be a help to you, because it's something you had asked about and said that you were interested in. And so you feel free to give me a call and ask about it. As soon as you've got your 2 people, all you need to do is call me and say, Jim, I've got my 2 personal referrals. Whether it's, you know, just taking the $50 a piece and you refer 2 people, I'll go ahead and give you that software. That's the same class that I sold for $350. So that's all included in the package. All right. Well, we've got our webinar starting, so I'm getting ready, because we do these webinars every hour on the hour. And so we've got the next one getting ready to start right now. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this broadcast.